Hello, dear audience. First of all, we would like to wish you a peaceful new day, filled with energy and joy alongside your family and loved ones. In the dim morning light, Tu Quinn sat quietly, her posture calm, but still tinged with fatigue. Her face bore the marks of days filled with pain and fear. Seeing this, Tuna walked closer, her voice gentle. "Ms. Quinn, how are you feeling today? Is your leg any better?" Tu Quinn looked up, her eyes glistening with emotion. She smiled, her voice, warm yet trembling, filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Tuna. My leg feels much better. If it weren't for your help, I truly don't know what would have become of me. Perhaps I wouldn't even be sitting here now." Tuna smiled kindly, her eyes shining with deep compassion. "It's all right, Ms. Quinn. I only did what anyone should do. Helping you also brings me peace and joy." The two sat together, letting time pass slowly. Their conversation began with simple questions of concern, but gradually turned into longer confessions. Tu Quinn spoke of the hardships she had endured the night spent in fear, terrified the villains might return for her. Her voice broke at times, trembling as though each memory still carried the weight of pain. Tuna listened without interrupting her gaze, Tender occasionally nodding softly, as if lending strength to Tu Quinn's courage. After a while, as the sunlight stretched further across the ground, Tuna gently said, "Ms. Quinn, today I plan to take my little girl to visit Granny Tang. It's been a while and she must miss us dearly. Would you like to come along to ease your mind a little?" At her words, Tu Quinn's face clouded. Worry flickered in her eyes. Her hands tightened together as if trying to push away the rising unease. After a long silence, she exhaled, her voice soft, yet full of hesitation. I'm afraid I don't yet have the courage to go outside. What happened? It truly makes me too scared to step beyond this place. I fear, if by chance I were to meet them again." Tuna looked at her for a long moment, then nodded gently. She understood that fear better than anyone. Sometimes the wounds within the heart take longer to heal than those on the body. So she did not reproach, her only offered quiet comfort. "I understand, Ms. Quinn. Your health is still fragile. Stay here and rest a little longer. There are still dangers out there." Tuna stood up, went inside, and began arranging things, preparing some water and a little food for Tu Quinn to use during the day. Just then, Tuna's little daughter awoke and came running, wrapping her arms tightly around her mother. The girl innocently greeted Tu Quinn, making the woman smile faintly, her heart softening for a moment. The innocence of a child at times is the most precious balm for the soul. Before leaving Tu, Nay turned back and carefully reminded her, "Ms. Have you ever wondered what the note left by Tu Quinn, the woman once rescued by Tuna, truly meant? Was it simply a message saying she had left, choosing to go her own way? Or could there be a deeper reason behind that piece of paper? Something we have yet to uncover. Quinn, today, I'll be visiting Granny Tang, and I might come home late. Please stay here and don't go anywhere. Your health is still weak, and there are many dangers out there." Tu Quinn's eyes glimmered with emotion. She nodded. "Yes, I'll do as you say. Thank you. Truly thank you so much." Tunay gently squeezed her hand, her voice sincere. "It's nothing, Ms. Quinn. Everything will be all right. Please believe that." With that, Tuna lifted her little daughter and stepped out through the bamboo gate. The sound of their footsteps blended with the morning breeze, gradually fading away from the small garden. When Tuna arrived at Granny Tang's house with her child, she could already see from afar the familiar figure of the old woman sitting on her worn bamboo chair on the porch. Her frail frame bent slightly forward, her hands fiddling with a cloth, her gentle eyes gazing down the small path. The moment she saw Tuna and her daughter, her face lit up with joy. That warm smile seemed to sweep away all fatigue and worries of the day. Granny Tang quickly stood up, came closer, and wrapped her arms around Tuna's little girl. Holding the child in her arms, she spoke tenderly, her voice trembling with emotion. "Oh, it's been so long since I last saw you two. Today, you must stay and have a meal with me, won't you?" Tuna nodded softly, her heart warming at the words. The child chirped happily in Granny Tang's arms, her innocent laughter filling the small courtyard with life, while Granny Tang lovingly played with the child. Tuna stepped into the familiar kitchen. The earthy scent of cooking smoke, the fragrance of freshly harvested rice, and bundles of green vegetables drying in the corner all brought her back to memories of her childhood. She began preparing the meal, while Granny Tang, chatting and laughing, picked vegetables by her side. Soon, the meal was laid out on the rustic wooden table, a bowl of sweet green vegetable soup, a plate of fragrant braised fish, a few boiled vegetables with ginger dipping sauce, and a golden bowl of pickled eggplants. It wasn't a feast of delicacies, but everything was hot, aromatic, and filled with the comforting taste of home. The three of them gathered around the meal. Tuna watched as Granny Tang lovingly picked food for the child and carefully added some to her bowl as well. In that moment, the long-forgotten warmth of family welled up inside Tuna, filling her with a quiet, profound happiness. Perhaps Tu Quinn encountered an unexpected misfortune taken away by someone with ill intentions, making her disappearance all the more mysterious. Or could it be that hidden within this story lies an even greater secret, a truth never revealed, waiting to be uncovered in the episodes ahead? As the afternoon sun sank behind the distant mountains, the sky glowed a brilliant shade of red-orange, and the world was wrapped in a beauty that was both serene and tinged with melancholy. A gentle breeze carried the scent of meadows, mingling with the hum of cicadas, marking the day's end. Tuna held her daughter close, softly bidding farewell to Granny Tang. The old woman clasped her hand tightly, her eyes reluctant to let go. After a few tender words of advice, she finally released her grip, standing on the porch, watching as the mother and child disappeared down the narrow path, leading back to the farm. On the way home, Tuna walked slowly, humming a lullaby. The little girl, tired from the day's outing, rested her head on her mother's shoulder, her breathing steady as she drifted into sleep. Looking at her child, Tuna smiled faintly, though her heart carried a touch of unease, for she knew there were still many uncertainties ahead. When she reached the familiar gate of the farm, Tuna called out loudly, "Ms. Quinn, I'm back." But the only answer was silence. No reply, no familiar footsteps. The air around was eerily still broken, only by the creaking of trees swaying in the wind. Tuna's heart tightened, a chilling sense that something was wrong, creeping over her. She pushed open the bamboo door and stepped inside. In the small house, Everything was just as it had been when she left. Tuna laid her child down on the familiar bamboo bed, carefully covering her with a blanket. As she turned around, her eyes suddenly stopped at the corner of the table. There, a piece of paper had been neatly placed, as if intentionally left for her. Her hand trembled as she picked it up. On it, the familiar handwriting of Tu Quinn appeared. Dear Tu, not thanks to you, I have been able to survive and find shelter these past days. I am endlessly grateful, but I cannot continue to stay here forever and burden you and your child. I have found a new job, and so I have decided to leave. Please forgive me for this sudden departure. One day, I will surely return to repay you. Tu Quinn. After reading, Tuna sank down on the edge of the bed. Her heart tightened her face, showing a flicker of confusion and worry. She murmured, "A new job. Could that really be true?" She recalled the morning's conversation when Tu Quinn was still too frightened to even step outside. And now, just a few hours later, she had supposedly left and found work. Did that make sense? These questions surely leave many viewers intrigued and curious. And the answers will not come easily, because every small detail might conceal a crucial knot in this dramatic journey we are all following. A torrent of thoughts surged in Tuna's mind. Perhaps Tu Quinn truly felt she was a burden and chose to leave quietly. Or perhaps she believed that her presence would only make Tuna's life harder. But then another thought struck, chilling Tuna to her core. What if Tu Quinn had been taken by someone, and this note was merely a trick to mislead her? A cold wind swept in through the door, making the paper tremble in her hand. Tuna clutched it tightly, her heartbeat quickening. She looked around the room. The silence was so heavy, it only deepened her anxiety. Dark memories of those cruel people resurfaced like shadows lurking just outside, waiting for the chance to strike. Her eyes fell on her sleeping child. That innocent face was like the only light soothing her troubled heart. Yet because of her daughter, her fear grew stronger. If the villains truly returned, would she be able to protect her child? She sat there for a long time, her mind spinning in circles of doubt and hope. Each time she recalled Tu Quinn's weary face from that morning, her heart ached again. Could someone still so frail truly have gone far? At last, Tuna lifted her gaze, her eyes shining with resolve. Whatever the truth was, she knew she had to be prepared for every possibility, for behind Tu Quinn's disappearance, there was surely more yet to be revealed. Then she turned toward the audience, her voice lowering heavy with suspicion and tension. What do you think? Did Tu Quinn truly leave because she found a new job? Or is there still a hidden secret, a dark scheme lurking behind her sudden disappearance? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the shocking twists and the secrets yet to be unveiled in Tuna's story. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single thrilling detail. We promise that each episode, every moment, will bring you unpredictable surprises and powerful emotions that will keep you glued to the screen. So let's begin. That morning, as the sun rose behind the distant mountains, the dawn painted the sky with a soft pink hue. The first rays of light gently slipped through the leaves, shining down on the small garden in front of the house. The crowing of roosters echoed from neighboring rooftops, blending with the cheerful chirping of forest birds, creating a lively morning symphony. The cool air lingering from the night before carried the scent of fresh grass and damp earth, making the scene feel unusually peaceful. Inside the little house, Tuna slowly awoke. She stretched, taking a deep breath, then carefully folded her blanket as part of the simple routine ingrained in her modest life. Stepping out onto the porch, she cast her gaze around. And there, in the corner of the garden, by the humble bamboo table, sat the figure of a woman who had been there for some time. It was none other than Tu Quinn. The woman Tu Na had once risked her life to save from the hands of evildoers.
Trở nên hấp dẫn và đầy lôi cuốn hơn bao giờ hết khi bạn nghĩ rằng mọi thứ đã đến ngõ cụt. Những tình tiết bất ngờ lại xuất hiện khiến bạn không thể rời mắt khỏi màn hình. Mỗi tập phim, mỗi khoảnh khắc trong câu chuyện đều mang đến những sự biến mới bất ngờ đưa bạn trong sự và mong đợi. Những câu hỏi chưa được đáp và những ngã rẽ đầy kịch tính, khiến câu chuyện càng thêm hấp dẫn, khiến người xem không thể dừng lại, chỉ muốn tiếp tục theo dõi hành trình tìm kiếm theo Alex tiếp tục, và không ai có thể dự đoán được điều gì sẽ xảy ra tiếp theo. Liệu anh ấy có thể tìm đến mẹ con từ Na trước khi mọi thứ đi quá xa? Sự cố gắng không ngừng của anh và dù Yumi có đủ để đưa từ Na và con cô về an toàn. Những thử thách mà họ đối mặt dường như không có lời giải đáp, và mỗi quyết định, mỗi bước đi đều có để thay đổi an toàn kết cục của câu chuyện. Tất cả những câu hỏi này sẽ được hé lộ trong tập tiếp theo. Các tình tiết tiếp theo chắc chắn sẽ khiến bạn không thể ngừng theo dõi, và câu chuyện này không chỉ là khiến bạn nghe câu chuyện và sự tìm kiếm, mà còn là về tình cảm, lựa chọn khó khăn và những quyết định có thể thay đổi cuộc sống của tất cả các nhân vật. Vì vậy đừng quên nhấn đăng ký và bật chuông thông báo để không bỏ lỡ bất kỳ tình tiết quan trọng nào trong câu chuyện. Liệu theo Alex có thể tìm được mẹ con từ Na? Liệu anh có thể vượt qua được tất cả thử thách mang về bảo vệ an toàn?